What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. Got a little something pretty for you today. I have the Case Tribal Lock. This thing is about, I think it's 4 1/8 closed, 7 1/4 overall once it's open, of just pretty knife. Um, this is the kind of blade that if it were in a Bugs Bunny cartoon, you'd see like the eyes popping out of the head. Ooga, ooga. It's that pretty. This thing, fit and finish wise, it is just gorgeous. Absolutely mirror polished stainless steel blade. The only thing on it is my fingerprints from just handling it so much. This is one of the guys that I love to keep in my pocket. Um, Everybody knows that I'm a giant fan of Case. Their steel has just taken my heart ever since that double X Bowie. I have been a Case fan that never looked back. This thing is great. I mean, the only thing I would put it next to in relatively, I mean, the Mako Shark, which is, I'm going to go over this probably tomorrow. I'll give you this one. It's the absolute classic lockback pocket knife ever made. It's hello. So what we're doing though is we're going to talk about this one. Now, Case is the most collected knife on the planet, and this little spear tip is one of those that maintains that. Look at this. Look at this handle. It is gorgeous scales. Look at the finish of this thing inside and out. Now, if you remember as a kid owning one of the knockoff type ones of these, or like the Mako, you used to, you have the little thumb notch here to grab onto and open. You remember that they sucked so bad that you would like rip your thumbnail off of your finger just opening these. This is not the case. This is not the case. Well, it is the case, but this knife is butter smooth. The chrome finish here, with the black finish here, with the brass pins here. This knife is just beautiful, and it's right about there. That's what makes it. There's like some kind of collectors group out there that collects Case knives, and they're like 18,000 strong plus, and constantly growing of knife collectors. Now, a lot of people, what they do is they take these and they put them on a rack somewhere with 25 others, or in some kind of cool little velvet thing with rubber bands or whatever that hold it on, and it's a nice little display, and they say, oh, look what I have. Because no matter what, these and those and the Bowie, they increase in value. It's a Case. It is what it is. But don't let the whole collector thing fool you. Don't let that be, the judgment. Everybody buys these new age lockbacks with the funky internal locks, or this or that, or the little pop it open speed jobs, and this and that. And they overlook the classic styling of a classic Case. This is just a better knife than most of those. It really is. We popped up the sleeve because what we want to do is just shave a little. And the good thing about this knife is it doesn't shave a little. It shaves a lot. I mean, I'm sitting here. I don't know if you can see all that falling off of there. But this is just awesome. Straight out of the box, this is a great knife. I have kids. You can hear them morons in the background. But what I'm going to do is, I'm not a collector. I'm a knife user. So I'm going to do what most people don't and put this through a little bit of a ringer. So let's go have some fun. All right, here we are outside in the backyard wilderness. Got the Case ready to go. First things first, we're going to use this little carving blade with a carving blade's form. We are going to carve with it. This thing makes really nice little cuts and slices. It's actually awesome at what it does. It's more than just a put it in a display with a bunch of other things. This is a take it out and use it knife. I've been tooling around with it, and I noticed that, I mean, just going through some of this stuff, it's just so simply done. It's incredibly reliable, and the lock is really strong. I mean, I must look like an idiot, but the lock is strong. It's not something that's a toy. It's not something that's, you know, the 5-10 cent shop gimmick. This thing is awesome. Feather sticking and preparation, wood prep. I'm making curls so fine they're just absolutely falling off. So I hope I can still have something to show you. But it's a handy little bugger. And the good thing about one of these knives is, let me see. The good thing about one of these knives is, nice for notching, is whatever I was thinking of. Oh, I remember now. I get so excited with this, I lose my train of thought. It's a take anywhere type knife. It folds up to this really cool tiny little package, goes in your pocket, and it's so light you might even, you know, forget it's there if it wasn't for the glowing angels coming out of your pocket. But just sitting around here, you can see I just put a little pressure, right? And then I can just take my little blade and make a little notch. And if I need to do, you know, building, if I need to make Lincoln logs, hope I can get that in there. That's what this thing, I mean, is capable of doing. Anything. It's a creator. You can carve with it, you can shave with it, you can just make things. It's really, really good. It's not a bushcraft knife, don't get me wrong. It's not a survival knife, but when it comes to certain bushcraft skills or certain survival skills, this is going to help you. You know what I mean? If you wanted to, you know, make friends with an Indian chief, you can carve out your own peace pipe with this thing. It's just remarkable. I mean, the little razor edge, I'm able to just peel away the outside layer of the bark on this thing and then take the rest of the bark away. It is a very, very fine knife, and beyond its good looks and collectability, it's really useful. I'm going to actually toss this into the log a little bit. I'm going to invite you to watch because you're all my friends, but I have no doubts in my mind that this thing is going to hold up to anything I throw at it, even though it's stuff that it's not meant for. You know what I mean? It's that good. Come on. All right, so here we are. Got the little case. We got the big stump. And this thing, that bites in there really well. Actually, a big strong guy. I had to lift that out of there. But man, that bites in really well. Do you see that stump shaking when I'm pulling it out? That little tiny knife, and I'll tell you what, that lock, you could hear it clicking. It is beautiful. But man, this thing is it's a little bit more bitey than I would have guessed. Being a lockback with those big handles, I would never expect it to drop straight. It just fell off the log and bit into a piece of wood. I wouldn't expect it to drop straight because the rear is so much heavier than the front, obviously. So that doesn't really matter, but throwing it down like that, you'll see that, you know, even banging the lock, not a single deviation from, you know, with the scales away from the body. There's no loosening of the pins. This thing is, for a little tiny knife, it's a big strong. All right, let's do some more. All right, there's a bunch of things, you know, I wanted to talk about with this knife, and not a lot of things I wanted to display because, you know, it's a lockback and it's small and it's not supposed to be able to do big tasks. But I'm going to bring it out to the 1-inch forest anyway and see if we can just get through a couple of these, and apparently we can. This little tiny blade is doing bigger blade challenges. Let's see if we can get this guy. Oh my goodness. All right, so this piece of wood here is actually thicker than the blade, right? man, it's literally like carving butter on a Thanksgiving table. It is smooth. There's a reason I brag about Case so much, and there's a reason I talk about their blades. It's because they're worth it. It's a collector's piece, yada, yada, yada. You know what it is? It's a put it in your pocket every single day, carry this wherever you go, except on a plane, and it's a use it piece. These knives are built beautiful, but they're built to last. Let's have some more fun. All right, so here we are. I have a water bottle, and I have a Case knife. My buddy Chad was telling me how he loves the water bottle tests on some of the knives, so I figured I'd give him one. Now remember, it's a short blade, so unless I knuckled up to it, I'm probably not going to be able to get through the whole bottle, but it should cut through whatever part of the bottle I decide to cut, which right about now is going to be any part. So let's try and knock a hole in this water bottle. That the only part of the bottle I touched happens to have sliced open quite cleanly, and I mean quite cleanly. This is the knife that's going to get it done. It's just beautiful. This thing is great, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean it off a little bit, because I want you to be able to see that this edge has zero imperfections. Zero imperfections. This lock, still butter smooth. Everything lines up. Everything is beautiful. Everything is Case. The knife is incredible. So let's do this. I'm going to put this knife down here, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts right here. I usually set it up on this thing anyway. Let's go over what we're looking at here. The Case Tribalock. What more can be said? This thing is a work of art. It's as useful as it is beautiful, and it's impressive. This is a carry all day, any day type knife. I love it. It's incredible. There's a reason that this is the knife company I turn to when I need something sharp. And I mean, here it is. This is the Tribalock. Don't forget that name. It's Tribalock made by Case, and this is the next knife you should own. I don't know. It's just beautiful. So look it up. There's a lot of different variations in handle material. So you're guaranteed to find something that suits your likings. Me personally, I just happen to like them all, but that's just me. So I am Donnie B all day. Take care, YouTube, and until next knife.